Dun, doo, 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 doo. Da, dun, 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 dun. Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to Goddess Wellness Wednesdays. Oops, have to sit back a little. Welcome to Goddess Wellness Wednesdays, and we talking about 3 ways to empower your feminine. 3 ways to empower your feminine. We getting it in, y'all. So welcome to Goddess Wellness Wednesdays, and we talking about 3 ways to empower your feminine. All right. So let us get my website up here, pinknectar.life. Y'all know I'm the pink nectar goddess, the organic goddess, the women's wellness coach. And I am here to help y'all raise your feminine energy. I'm here to help y'all raise your feminine energy so that you can feel good, look good, and smell good all the time. Okay? Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Y'all know I gotta dance it up when it's time to start teaching y'all and encouraging y'all to take yourself more seriously and be more intentional about your self care. So please let me know if y'all can hear me. Please, please, please. I can see my little voice monitor on YouTube. I don't see anything on Instagram. But if y'all can hear me, make sure y'all drop a pink heart. Y'all know I like the little hearts in here. So drop a pink heart and let me know if you can hear me. Also, make sure y'all share, share, share. Don't be selfish. Don't be shy. Share this information with somebody. And while I'm over here talking about sharing, let me share this live to my Facebook, because my Facebook people need to know that I'm on too. So, anyways, yeah, we getting it in, y'all. We talking about womb wellness and 3 ways, 3 easy ways to empower your feminine. And click, and we're live. So, how y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing really good. This weather is doing something different. It got hot all of a sudden, and it's like, it's zapping our energy. But I'm grateful nonetheless because I don't have to be dry and in the cold. But if I was, I got my body butter, y'all, because that helps keep my skin nice and shiny and smooth. So yeah, the past few weeks I've been talking about taming your demons, facing your demons, battling them, and taming them. Okay, so we battling and taming demons that we have to deal with, and I just use that term because it's relatable, it's easy to understand, but it's just character traits that are not necessarily to our benefit. Okay, so character traits that are not necessarily to our benefit is what I'm calling demons. All right. And if y'all want to see the replay, please go back. It's still up. I leave these things up so that y'all can go back, look at it, watch it, share it, love it, comment. All right. And make sure y'all comment on my stuff, please. Let me share this because y'all gotta come on and support your sister. Because without your support, I don't get to do much. So make sure y'all come out and support me Share my live, like it. It's free to do it. It's free to share. It's free to like. Look, I got a bunch of people I'm sending this to real quick. And I'm just starting with my entrepreneurship. Actually, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, but this particular endeavor of Pink Nectar is new, and I need my community support. Okay? All right, we're going to just send that for now. Peace. Welcome. Whew. All right, so 3 ways that you can empower your feminine. 3 easy ways. Let's get to the top of this. And why this is so important. Why it's so important is because as human beings, whether you're a man or a woman, when you are not being your true, authentic self, you're going to suffer from mental issues. So you're going to have mental health problems, you're going to have emotional health problems, and you're going to have physical ailments. All right. So when you are not in alignment with the spiritual being that you were designed this to be this lifetime, you're going to suffer in your mental, your emotional, and your physical. Okay? You already done messed up the spiritual aspect of it, and then everything else follows. Anything that you're going through, like depression, sadness, extended grief, anxiety, if you have physical ailments like lumps in your breast cancer, um, PMS, painful periods, fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, heavy bleeding, all of those are symptoms of the oppression and suppression that you're imposing on yourself. Okay? Yes, there's society views. Yes, there's family views. Yes, there's religious views and institutional views. But you have free will to decide if those are the things that you're going to participate in. So we go through a process of reparenting. Okay, we go through a process of reparenting because a lot of what we think we know, a lot of what we know is because of some passive observation that we did as tiny tots. Okay, and then of course people going like this and say, you don't do this and don't do that and do it my way and not your way. Or you're gonna get beat up, or I'm gonna cut your ass, right? People be aggressive when you don't follow the, what do you call it, follow the philosophy of their life. You're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're bad. Even though you just got here. Okay, so all that kind of stuff contributes to the low confidence, the low self-esteem, poor self-image, eating disorders, okay, because there's a lot of eating disorders, um, living up to the requirements of misogyny and patriarchy, living up to the standards of others, self-doubt, lack of creativity, worry, low libido. Look, this list just keeps going on and on and on, okay? And we're sad and we're tired and our bodies are hurting. Just the other day, one of my sister friends messaged me and was saying how horrible her period was this time, heavy bleeding, clots, all that kind of stuff. And I said, sis, you're stressed. You are stressed out. I'm like, okay, let's just start with one simple thing that you could do. Take a bath instead of taking a shower. All right. And I know y'all looking at me like, okay, what's the difference? Trust me. It's energetically different. Even if you just have plain old water, Take a bath instead of taking a shower and tell me how you feel. If you've been working all day, you standing on your feet all day, you dealing with baby's kids from somebody else, baby mama drama. Um, look, you working for people, you don't like your job, you got to drive long, it's traffic, all these things. You got to sit down and be still. All right, you got to sit down and rub your feet. So like before I come on here, I usually take a shower, and then especially when it's hot like this, I take a shower and I make sure that I have enough time because I want to sit my behind down on the side of the bed and rub my skin. All right? And why? Because it's giving me nurturing vibes. All right? I'm giving back to myself. I put my body through all this work. I need to sit down and maintain my body. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into these three ways that you can incorporate mindfulness and meditation to empower your feminine. All right, so we're using mindfulness and meditation to empower your feminine. So I said three easy ways to empower your feminine, but you have to use mindfulness and meditation. So, one of the first things that I like to do is prepare. So, the first thing is to set up your sanctuary and or your altar. Set up your sanctuary and or your altar. Okay? I know my spiritual goddesses already know what the altar is. I know my spiritual goddesses know what a sanctuary is. But for those of you who don't know, an altar is a designated space for you to honor your deities, your spirituality, the elements of nature, whoever else whoever else ancestors you want to honor on your altar. All right. So some people have specific altars for a specific deity, like Yemoja, or you can have a sacred woman altar, okay? Or you can have a Oshun altar, or you can have an ancestral altar. So there's so many different, and you put things on there like food, water, different types of drinks like alcohol or coconut milk, on the deity or the spirit or the ancestor that you're invoking and honoring. You can put flowers, fresh plants, live plants on there. You can put figurines and pictures that represent the deities or the energies that you're honoring. You can put crystals and essential oils, metals like copper. So just depending on what your intention is there, you can put pretty much anything on there. Money, shells. So it really depends on what you need. All right. So my altar usually has a candle, crystals, um, a bowl for the water or the food, and a bunch of different stuff. An ankh, something to cleanse myself. I was gonna say anoint, but to cleanse, like Florida water. I usually keep a Florida water on my altar, and that's something that I keep in my bathroom also. So again, it just depends on what you need and what energies you're trying to invoke. I also always have money on my altar and shells. Okay. And as you can hear, it sounds like I'm a water lady. All right. So those are things that resonate with me and that help me stay at peace. All right. Now, your sanctuary is your room, your bathroom, your balcony, just a space. I've seen people even have a special space in their walk-in closets or something that they pack away like in a caddy or a bag or something of that nature. But the sanctuary is a sacred space. This is a space where you can be alone. This is a space where you can give back to your body in private. So whether it be self massage, self massage or self pleasuring or sitting down in a meditation or listening to calming music or have some aromatherapy going, this is your space to unwind, sit down, unwind. All right. So that setting up your sanctuary, I talk about that in my how to use the body butter. My how to use the body butter guide or live. All right. So you can go back and watch the replay on that. But essentially, setting up the sanctuary is intentionally, mindfully dedicating a space and a time for you to take care of yourself. All right. So we're not feeding everybody, we're not letting the door open and close. Um, we putting our phones on silent and putting it away. We're not scrolling on social media and texting people during the sanctuary time. It's completely a time to yourself. Okay. So you have to make sure that you have everything that you need to be comfortable in your space: plant based cosmetics, loose, comfortable clothing, nice towels, mirrors. Make sure you have a handheld mirror. I'm sure a lot of y'all do not know what your vagina looks like. Um, a speaker for music, your favorite book, whatever it is that you need. A diffuser, your plant based products, and I'm going to say that again because plant based products is very important, especially for y'all suffering with these different hormonal problems like PCOS, PMS, and fibroids, endometriosis also. All right. All right. So we talked about the altar and the deity or the specific energies that you want to honor at your altar. So these are your altar and your sacred space, your sanctuary are places where you meditate. All right, this is where you meditate, live in the moment. Okay, and I can't say this enough. Live in the moment. Sometimes you're going to be mind racing because of whatever happened. Get your journal and write that stuff down. Get a piece of paper and write it down. All right. And if you want, you crumple it up and burn it. Okay. But get it out your head, let it go so that you can really enjoy that time to yourself and give back to your body. Hey, hey, hey. And get some rest, y'all. Oh my God, I always forget to say this, but get some rest. Peace. Thanks for joining in. So, a lot of us going to bed at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Uh That is way too late. You actually need to be going to bed at like 8, 9 o'clock. All right. If you want to get up early, like 3 in the morning, you should do it that way. And I tell my clients this all the time. Go to bed early, wake up early, and tell me how you feel and tell me how much more productive you are when you do it that way. All right. So a lot of y'all know I'm an aspiring doctor, and during my studies, I decided to go to bed at 8 o'clock. And when I tell you my grades went shh, my grades went sky high. And everybody looking at me, what you studying? What you reading? Help me. I'm like, y'all gotta go to sleep. You can't be running around here thinking that you just gonna pull an all-nighter and then get 100 on the test. It don't work like that. You gotta go to bed. You already did enough for the day. So get your rest, y'all. Go to bed at 8 o'clock. And please tell me how that goes, okay? All right, so number two for the easy ways to empower your feminine is to go out into nature. All right? Get out into nature. And I say this all the time. If y'all can hear the wind blowing, y'all can see my little tapestry flying around. The wind is blowing. I hear the waves crashing. All the trees are right around my house. All right. And I talk about this all the time. Intentionally living in nature. Okay. We let go of everything. We're building our house from scratch and we're living in nature. Peace. Welcome. So, yeah, go out into nature. It don't have to look pretty, whatever. Look, take your shoes off, put it in the dirt for 30 seconds, put your shoes back on. I know some of y'all in some cold climates, but you have to get grounded and you have to connect, establish, and maintain a connection with nature. All right, you can get one little tiny plant and water your plant and talk to your plant and love it up. Okay. So when you're out in nature though, I want you to be really intentional. So you can sit down, you can go for a walk, you can go for a run, whatever it is, but just again, be in that moment. And look around. Observe the animals. You're going to start seeing all types of stuff coming out. Ants, bees, flies, the birds, okay? The squirrels, depending on where you are, the lizards, all right? Observe them. A lot of us are scared of these little insects and bugs. I was like terrified of lizards. I'm still a little like skittish of them, but for the most part I can be around them because I just watch them and they're just like they're very still actually. And they don't really move unless something is going on or if they're trying to eat something or they're scared of you. But peace, thanks for joining in. So yeah, when you're out in nature, observe nature, look at the plants, look at the animals, look at the different shades of greens and yellows and browns. Like really get into it, okay? Um being in the Caribbean is like it's really nice and then sometimes it's kind of sad because people don't really know what they have. Like I'm coming from Chicago, Houston, and these are very industrial cities. And we don't have good air quality in either of those places. And then we don't have the luxury of being able to take a short trip to a beach or the warm weather all year round. Okay. So I really like express gratitude that we have an outdoor bathroom. The shower used to be outside, but it's just a bathroom right now. But being able to look over at the sea and just take a shower, Lord, it's peaceful. And despite how horrible or how hectic or stressful my day was, I was like, look at the sea. Look at the pelicans and the seagulls, okay? And then look at all the different colors of blue that the water is. So this is going to help you to relax and then really just be in the moment. Going to help you to start raising that feminine energy up. All right, let me make sure I got everything here because I don't want to miss nothing. But if y'all are getting this, make sure y'all drop a little heart in the comments, put a little pink heart. Make sure y'all share this with somebody that you know needs this kind of information. A lot of women are walking around here in pain. I used to be one of those women. All right? All the way from like 14 up until 30 something. I always forget my age at that time, but 2019, I was having the worst cramps ever. I used to have crazy cramps. Thank you. Hey. And when I tell you, I used to feel like my hips and my pelvic was like this every time I had my period. And I'm like, my photography teacher lied. She said when I have kids, it was gonna go away. No, what I had to do the way that it went away was when I really started paying attention to myself and doing the things that I truly love and desire. And when I started doing that and letting go of the people, peace, thank you. When I started letting go of the people that were not in alignment with my purpose in life, when I stopped doing the things that were not in alignment with my purpose in life, when I started going to bed early, you know, getting out in the sun, going to the beach, doing my yoga in the morning, pursuing my career, all that kind of stuff aligned me to not have period problems. Okay, look, the wind trying to expose me. All right, so it just all that alignment helped me to not have period problems anymore. All right, so I was juicing too. I was juicing at one point, but this is way after the period problems had stopped. It was really, for me, it was really more of a mindset thing though. I strongly believe that I was so indoctrinated into the idea of misogyny that it it stifled me. It was a blockage for me in a really heavy way though. Like I was fatigue, like extremely tired for a long period of time. My vagina went numb at one point, and I always talk about this because that was crazy. I'm like, why I'm not feeling nothing? And then, of course, the chronic, all the time cramps during my period, and feeling tired before, getting confused before my period started, having some crazy cravings, getting bloated and contracting, and like, no, we're not supposed to be going through all that. Sorry, I don't know who said we needed to do that, but we don't. And to this day, I am happy and at peace. My womb talks to me and I respond. And it's not like a voice like this, okay? Your womb has her own language, and her language is through sensations. I even got to the point where I was like, oh, my period about to start right now. Because I could hear when she was like adjusting herself and preparing for that fluid to be released. Look, let me tell you, our bodies, our spirit, our mind, our emotions are so powerful, y'all. It's just, we're not necessarily taught how to take care of this woman body. So you can heal yourself, y'all. You don't have to. Thank you. You do not have to go through all that. So let's get to number 3. So number 3 is celebrate and honor yourself. All right? Celebrate and honor yourself. So you know what? This was something that I did a lot too. So as I was saying, like during my medical school endeavor, when I tell you, you gotta stay motivated, you gotta stay at peace because that journey is very trying. And the way that I did it was just baby steps. Baby steps. Okay, we got these assignments this week, and then I start preparing for next week on the weekend. And every grade, every class I attended, every test I took, I celebrated it. Okay, even if it wasn't as high as I wanted it to be, I still celebrated it. Why? Because it just kept me in a rhythm. And that was the first time I ever like celebrated myself for real, ever in life. So, some other ways that you can celebrate yourself is by dressing up for you. All right? A lot of us dress up for the man or for to go out with our friends or whatever. Dress up for you, even if you just gonna be in the house. Get in front of that mirror and get dressed. All right. So we talked about setting up your sanctuary. Your sanctuary needs to have a handheld mirror and a standing mirror. All right, because you need to be able to look at you and gaze at yourself in your eyes and get to know yourself and your perfections and your imperfections. All right. get to know you. So get dressed for yourself, admire yourself, feed yourself, massage your body. All right, let's get into it. Anoint your body so you can anoint yourself with herbs, oils, flowers, jewelry, essential oils. Yeah, we want to get into it, y'all. A lot of times we're just giving, giving, and there's nothing wrong with selfless service. That's intentional. All right, there's nothing wrong with selfless service, but as much as you giving out, you got to put 5 times, 10 times more in. All right, I'm 100 times more into you. All right, so if you're giving one to somebody, you need to give 100 to yourself. Peace. Thanks for joining in. So the other thing you can do to celebrate yourself is participate in activities. So this is celebrating and honoring yourself. So you're going to participate in activities that bring you joy and excitement. So for me, I love to dance. I love to go to the beach. I like doing stuff with my children because when we go out and they want to go to like the park or something, I'm playing at the park with them. Y'all wouldn't expected that one, but I be playing at the park with them. I'm on the swing. We swinging together. All types of stuff is happening. They on the swing with me. We going down the slide. Actually, I haven't been down the slide in a while. Although I took them to Beaches Resort in Jamaica and went down that slide. It was like, shh. Oh, ooh, I'm like, why did I do that? But it was nice. So do things that bring you joy and excitement, okay? And do things that nurture your feminine energy. All right. So I mentioned dancing. So I also teach a hip hop burlesque sensual healing dance class. I teach other dance classes, but that's the main one that I teach right now to really help women to embody this feminine energy from a sensual standpoint. Okay. Right? We just came in through the phase of twerk, 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 shake it, shake it, shake it. It's fun though. That kind of stuff is fun. But we also have to get into the soft movement, the flowy movement, the watery, uh, exotic movements. All right? Get those breasts moving too, y'all, because we got a lot of stagnant energy in here. So earlier I talked about lumps and bumps in the breasts, sagging breasts. All right, breasts that look flat and dry. You gotta get that energy flowing again. You can revive them. Trust me. I'm part of the itty bitty titty committee. But I do things to nurture my breasts because they're mine. All right. And that's what we're supposed to do. I talked about that last week too. So y'all can watch the video from last week. And I talk about all the things you can do to massage your breasts. But other things you can do, other things you can do to raise your feminine energy is to be around like-minded women who are about self-empowerment, about self-preservation, and you know, eating live foods, being out in nature, doing things to nurture themselves, etc. So we also have the sensual healing brunch. What you said? You too. Yeah, look, our breasts are so neglected. Look, I had 4 babies and I nursed all 4 of them. By the time I was done with number 3, my breasts were so flat and I was like, okay, my breasts are small, but they were never this flat. Like what just happened? So in my research and my studies, I realized that we have to put a fatty oil on our skin, particularly around the breast. So you got to massage in circles. All right. So that's something you can do in your sanctuary. So yes, the sensual, sorry, the Pussy Talk 101 brunch and sexual healing. All right. So that's where we really dive into the importance of understanding our divine sexual energy. Okay, yes. Oh, yeah, there are exercises for the breast, y'all. So they're mostly like pectoral exercises, doing things like this and like this. And YouTube is a wonderful place because you can find all of that on YouTube. But yes, you can do exercises to help lift up those muscles and to help lift the skin. And please stop wearing a bra sometimes, y'all. Because the bra looks nice, it's cute. I wear a bra sometimes, but most of the time I don't have a bra on because it's stifling the blood flow and the lymphatic flow to and from your breasts. So yeah, the pussy talk brunch now. So this is another way to nurture your feminine energy. So this is where women are coming together and talking about the vagina. We need to be having these open conversations about our vaginas. And why? Because our vaginas are highly controlled and highly sought after. And a lot of people that are that are looking for these vaginas don't need to be looking for them. We need to be caring and protecting and nurturing our vaginas alone. And that'll help prevent a lot of heartache, for one, a lot of diseases from spreading around, because then you'll start to have a really high level of discernment and self worth. And then you get to understand your pleasure principle in the area of your sexuality, which is really important. Okay. A lot of us are oppressed and suppressed sexually, and we think that it is normal. And I'm not saying that you need to be going out and having three, four, five, six boyfriends, although that's none of my business. What I'm talking about is connecting with yourself, understanding how your body functions, and what the things are that your body needs to nurture your sexual energy. Because it is an energy, y'all. There's a lot of names for it too, and it makes it confusing. So people will say, oh, you have a life force energy. That's your sexual energy. Your chi is your sexual energy. Your libido, we all know that that's your sexual energy. The kundalini, that's your sexual energy. And why is it so important? Because it, it has healing um, characteristics. So you can awaken your healing energies inside of your body, whether it just be the vibration of healing or the actual cells in your body are responding and waking up and helping you to heal. Your creative energies. Is that my little pumpkin? Hi. Where you coming over here? Looking hot. Right. So your sexual energy is very powerful, and it's the whole reason that we exist to begin with. It's just very hidden in the language. It's very taboo to be talking about your sexuality for a lot of different reasons, and most of it is because it is an energy source. All right. You have people taking people out of their communities to utilize them for sexual endeavors. All right. So that's called trafficking. All right. We have a big problem with sex trafficking because people are easily persuaded by things. Oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. And then next thing you know, they get caught up, or sometimes they're getting taken off guard. But I've heard some stories where there's some girls in Antigua, and I'm being very specific. There's some Jamaican girls in Antigua stuck in Antigua because they wanted to get their passport. And they're working off their passport by working in the strip club. All right. And it's very sad because they don't think that they have the skill set. They don't think that they have the power or the ingenuity or the creativity to be able to care for themselves in this modern society. And Jamaica is very fruitful, y'all. Like we have so many fruit trees that were on this property before we got here, and we revived them by just pouring some water on top of it. Okay. And I'm saying that because it's so simple. No, Shane, don't do that. It's so simple what we did to bring like the Aki trees, for example. We brought them to life by just pouring water on them consistently. And people come to our yard and they're like, "Oh, it's so nice here. It's so relaxing. Wow, what did y'all do? How did you get the Aki to grow? Water the tree?" Like, why you didn't know that? Why you didn't know that you need to just put some water on the tree? What's happening? Okay. I just let it go. But I encourage women to grow their own fruits and vegetables. I had one young lady come to my house crying because she ain't had no food, no diapers for her baby. She was getting skinny by the second. Look, right? She said water and love. Yes. Yes, because the way you speak to your plants, it will change the way that they grow. The way you speak to yourself, the way you speak to your children and others will change the way that they grow. So you got to talk to these beautiful living beings, okay? So the young lady came to my house and her family lives right up the road from me, but she was staying 15, 20 minutes away. And I'm like, why you don't just go back to your parents' house? All right, never mind. And I'm like, are there any fruit trees in your area or in your parents' yard or whatever? And she said, yes, a aki tree. And I'm like, water it. Just pour some water on it. So you can have your own aki. It's not that difficult. And then you don't need to always be buying stuff when you can grow these things so abundantly in this place. Like last year, I swear it's only been a year since my husband planted these. Thank you. Since my husband planted these almond trees in our yard, and they're getting so big, and he's like, "Oh, they're gonna start bearing soon." I'm like, "Really? I didn't know it was that fast." Like it's. Let me see. It's probably like 6 to 7 feet tall right now. The almond tree. And when I tell you my kids love almond milk, they're like, "Are we gonna be able to make some almond milk?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's why we have two aki. That's why we have two almond trees in the yard so that we can do that." Now the coconuts, they're taking longer. They take a little bit longer to produce fruit, but we have those too. We have like 7 or so coconut trees in the yard, and we're just, ooh, we just waited. Right? You said shout out to hubby for planting almonds. Evolve, shift, grow. Thank you. 6 to 7 feet tall in a year. Okay, yeah, the almond tree is that tall. The one at the bottom is the one in the front of the house is a little bit shorter, but it's still like 4 feet tall. So we always have water running on them. He's always raking up the bamboo leaves off the ground and stuff like that, making sure that there's sunlight coming through, etc. The biggest coconut tree we have though is like maybe 15 to 20 feet tall, and it's still growing. We're waiting. But peace and blessings, y'all. Thanks for joining in. Make sure y'all share. So just to recap what we talked about, these are just 3 easy ways to incorporate mindfulness and meditation to empower your feminine. All right. So we're overcoming low self esteem, low self confidence, eating disorders. We're overcoming self doubt, pain in the form of painful periods, PMS, fibroids, breast lumps and bumps, and cancer, okay, mental and emotional problems like depression and anxiety. And the way to do that is by employing and doing these 3 easy things to empower your feminine: setting up your sanctuary or your altar, getting into nature, and celebrating and honoring yourself. But yes, 15 to 20 feet tall. Look, these coconut trees get tall, 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 tall. So we're in St. Thomas, Jamaica, and when we're on our way to Morin Bay, there's a field with a bunch of coconut trees, and those things are like 50 feet tall or more. I don't even know, but they're big, and they've been there for a long time though. It's like a well known coconut field. Actually, my one young lady that is from my hometown, she did a music video. Kazaya, Princess Kazaya, if y'all know her, she does conscious and reggae music, but she did a music video in that field. So if y'all ever look her up, you can listen and watch, and y'all see what I'm talking about. But yeah, we got yams growing. The other day, I got a cassava out the ground, y'all. I was so happy. I love cassava or yuca, as some people call it. Our aki trees are just coming out of the season, the winter season, and it's going into the spring season, so they're blooming now. The mango tree at the front is in bloom now, so we got to clean it up though, because the people who lived at the front neglected it to the point where there's so many duck ants or termites living in it. But the tree is alive, and it's a grafted mango tree, so it has like, I always forget what the one mango is called, but it's like an East Indian and then another mango. I think it's like a black mango, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, most of our stuff is itty bitty. Some of our stuff is getting revived, like the aki tree, the coconut trees. We actually had to revive them. They were like teensy weensy when we got here a few years ago. And then we have a soursop tree, and it's in bloom, y'all. So I think by the summer they'll be full, because that soursop tree takes its time. We have sweet sop too, but they gotta get cleaned up. So this land was neglected and forgotten about. So we're here just reviving the land, um, protecting the soil. So we're getting ready to plant another mango tree closer to the cliff so that we can lock in the soil with the roots. We have bamboo that we're transplanting around to do the same thing. And then, of course, things that we can eat, like the cassava, the sweet potato, the yams. And you just take, you look, let me tell you how these things are magical, okay? So you just take a little piece. You just cut a piece off of the potato, the cassava, and the yam, and you just stick it in the ground and it grows. All right, and look, this lady at market, one of our market ladies gave us a little tiny piece of a cassava stick. All right, so she gave us a cassava stick, and my husband planted it in two different spots, and we got our first cassava the other day. It took a while though, because the cassava takes a pretty long time to grow. Although I think we may have waited too long, because we're not seasoned farmers yet. We're learning. But the yam, we grew a yam in a pot, like a flower pot, which is actually a really convenient way to do it, because if y'all know anything about yam, you gotta be digging in the dirt, because it keeps going down and down into the dirt. So planting it in the pot, you just turn over the pot and dump it out. And then the same thing with the sweet potatoes, although our sweet potatoes are in the ground right now. So yeah, make sure y'all give back to yourself, love on yourself, give yourself a hug, congratulate you for all the great and miraculous things that you've done thus far. Treat yourself to something nice. I like to treat myself to watermelon and ice cream. Okay. Actually, somebody just made us a sweet potato pudding. All right. If y'all know what sweet potato pudding in Jamaica is like, you know what I'm talking about. But I just last week was wait a minute. Okay, so the week before last was my birthday. So she made me some sweet potato pudding for my birthday because I just love it. And then we ate it so fast. We ate it so fast that I had to ask Miss Etta. This is a really good friend of mine here in Jamaica, but we had to ask her to make us some more. And I had to put everybody on pause. I'm like, hey, can we savor this one a little bit because I don't want it to disappear that fast. And I don't think Miss Etta, thank you. I don't think Miss Etta gonna make me a new pudding for maybe another 2 weeks. So I'm gonna have to check with her and see when the next time she could make it. So let's slow down on this pudding. Although we need to learn how to make it. She was telling us about the okay, using the Dutch pot. Thank you. Which evolve, shift, growth, a beautiful message and love you and your family's gardening efforts and flourishing. Or our gardening efforts are flourishing. Thank you. Yeah. Look, this is like a dream come true for me. And because I practice what I preach, I get to live like this. All right. We're like basically off the grid. We're still building in the building process, but we're basically off the grid and it's empowering. It's difficult. It's a transition from fast-paced lifestyle growing up in the city and all that kind of stuff to slow down and being in the country. But at the same time, I prefer to live in the country than to not. All right. So living and practicing what I preach. And because I've taken myself seriously and really put myself on a pedestal, I don't have womb problems. I don't have mental health issues. Yes, I get mad sometimes. That's normal because that's my spirit telling me that I need to adjust. Yes, I get sad sometimes. Yes, I miss family members that have transitioned sometimes, but I don't stay stuck there. I don't stay stuck there at all. I'm building a business and helping women. And even if they don't have the finances to get through the process, I still help them because why not? I know that this is part of my journey and my mission and my gift in life to be able to help women. So I do what I can where I can. So y'all gonna see me in Houston. Y'all gonna see me in Chicago, Antigua. I'm already in Jamaica, but y'all gonna see me in all these places. If you want me to come to your city, all y'all got to do is send me a message or email me and we can set it up. But I'm here to teach the women how to care for this woman body. All right. We do not have to be suffering and walking around bleeding like that. Like, there's solutions to everything that we're going through. All right. So, peace and blessings to y'all. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace, peace, peace.